Weddings-ish, 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 with Jove.
This episode is presented by Friar Tucks. For over 50 years, they've been styling life's biggest moments, from weddings to proms and more. Whether you're looking to buy or rent, Friar Tucks has the perfect suit or tuxedo for your event. Visit friartux.com to get started. Well, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Weddings-ish with Jove, a podcast all about love, joy, and weddings-ish with a special guest each episode. And I couldn't be more excited to be joined in studio by Rebecca Kennedy, a Peloton instructor extraordinaire who had not one, but two weddings.
I know.
And I can't wait to dive into both of your weddings.
I'm so excited to talk about them. I feel like it's kind of crazy that we had two.
That it's over or that you had two?
Both.
Okay. I mean, literally the first thing that caught my eye on the internet was your disco ball wedding. I've never seen anything like that with the trees and the mini, the various size disco balls and the two of you and all of your guests were participating vocally. Was that the end of the ceremony or the beginning?
That was the end.
The end.
Yeah, but we did want to have them all included in it.
Yeah.
Because this is the wedding that we called the Festival of Us.
I know. You beat me to it. I did my homework. I'm like fully obsessed with the Festival of Us. Like literally soak it in. It's about you. I think some couples are so modest. Like it's not about us. It's about the guests. But like it is about you. It is a celebration of the two of you.
Yeah, that was the tagline of it. It was like, it's me, it's you, it's us.
Yeah.
And we honestly owed it to our friends, especially the group that we had there. For us to be standing there was honestly a huge part because of them.
Because of them helping you get to that point?
Yeah, my friends literally wouldn't stop trying to set me up with Andy.
Okay, so I love your friends, and this is amazing. Like, how long did they try?
It was a good year because
a year of like a blind date,
no,
or like slight nudges, or like how did they try?
It started off as a little like under the radar, just looks and then comments, and then it became very
about him.
blatant.
Like, isn't he handsome? Look at his butt cheeks.
What do you
Isn't
think of
he handsome in
Andy?
shorts?
Would you ever consider? And then it became, he's your person, right?
Oh wow! So like from like little subtle hints to like direct.
Yeah, it took me. Well,
you weren't picking up what they were putting down?
I was, but I was also wanting to just have it happen naturally or ignore it because Andy and I had been friends for 10 years.
Okay, and so for those who don't know, you both work at Peloton.
Yes.
You're both Peloton instructors.
Yep.
This was the Peloton wedding,
Yeah.
as I'm calling it. And you both have worked there for how long? Let's rewind a little bit.
Sure, yeah. I started in 2017.
Okay, so pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Okay, when did Peloton begin?
2013.
Okay, so you were like a new hire after their first college year.
It was funny because I used to teach at Barry's Boot Camp. Okay. And at the time, the CEO, John Foley, was this was before Peloton. He was one of my clients there.
Oh, amazing.
And when he opened Peloton, he was like, I would love for you to come.
He literally gotcha.
Immediately. This was way back. And at the time, I had another contract with a digital platform, so I wasn't able to do it.
Go.
But then once they the contract elapsed, the tread was becoming, their new product they were about to drop. And he was like,
I need
how about now?
Yeah. Because Barry's, for those who don't know, is weightlifting and running.
Yes.
I go, I hate it every time. I love hate. It's like a love-hate relationship.
I totally get it.
But I need someone to yell at me.
Yeah.
But are you like a nice instructor, a mean instructor, a like where do you fall? How do you see yourself?
Joe, I've evolved. I was
as
that
we
instructor.
All do.
I also needed that. I came from sports, and I always had those types of coaches that were really militaristic is not necessarily the word, but they were tough.
But we all know what that means. Yeah,
right?
they were strong on you.
Yeah, and so it felt natural for me to step into that at the time. But as I continued to be in the fitness industry, I love a lot of encouragement, and I love when people lift me up versus
push you hard. So that's how you find love. If you feel love, you'll push yourself harder.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah. Barry's, I feel like they just, my girl, she just yells at me and she's yelling at the whole room, but it feels like she's looking just at me, which I guess is the purpose.
That's the whole
of the
point.
Instructor.
Yeah.
When she's like, you can add something. I'm like, can I really? And
Is
she was
that
like,
as fast as
even
you can go?
0.1? Yeah. It's still in you. Is that as fast as you can go?
Yeah.
Is this something you're proud of? I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. But yes, I could push a little harder.
I know. But if you're going to sprint, you kind of need that.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I now also need to know when it's going to end.
Yes.
Like sometimes when they count the wrong way, I'm lost. And I'm
Mm-mm.
like, if you just tell me it's 25 seconds,
Yeah.
I'll do it. But if
don't
this
you
is 2
dare
minutes,
do that 10,
10, 9,
9.
and then a sentence in between, I'm like, we're done. What are we doing here?
It's
oh,
awful.
Lord. So how did you get into fitness? What is your Genesis story there?
It's funny. I mean, I've always been a mover my whole life.
Okay.
And
I like that. Mover as in also dance? Or just
yes.
act like you're an active person?
Both.
Okay.
So I was a gymnast for
Okay.
15 years, but at the same time I was dancing.
Got it. Like started as a young child.
Very young, 3
I
years
love
old
that.
for both.
How did you know, or did your parents just kind of put you in
Oh
all the
gosh, I
different
think I just had
options?
so much energy. My mother was like, please
Go.
do something and put it to good use.
Go flip, go jump, get out of the house.
Yeah, come to find out, I was pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But as I got older and went to college, it takes up so much of your time
Yeah,
and
it's
your
whole
identity.
life, for sure.
And I wanted to find out like who I was without being attached to a sport.
That's wise. At what age did you figure that out?
My freshman year of college.
Okay.
But
when you're figuring everything out.
Oh yeah, it was a lot to, drinking from a fire hydrant for sure. I went in with a pretty high GPA and then my freshman year kind of tanked it a little bit. But going from like no freedom to all freedom and not having that structure of sport and timelines, I realized that I actually did need it.
Okay.
So
like you thrive in structure.
Yeah. I went from an aspiring attorney my freshman year.
Oh, I was going to be an attorney. Look at us,
Look at
table
us.
of not attorneys.
I know.
With
Hold
good
on.
hair.
Actually, great.
I mean,
much respect. I think we
Yes.
I think we chose
we made
the
the right choice.
Yeah.
Every time I went on a date with an attorney, they would always tell me you made the right choice
Yeah.
by not becoming an attorney.
The look in their eyes says, "Don't do
Yes.
it."
Yes, 100%. Okay, so that was your dream initially.
Yeah, and I transferred to a college where I could get my bachelor's in dance.
Okay.
And when it came time to get towards graduation and figure out what was going to happen next, Broadway Dance Center and Alvin Ailey came to my school for auditions.
Amazing.
I got into both and chose commercial dance. So I went to Broadway Dance Center.
Here in New York.
Here in New York.
And you're from?
Massachusetts.
Okay, so not super far, but
not
still
super far, but
the
definitely
big
like,
city.
oh yeah, I was from
Yeah.
a small, like very suburban,
Okay.
sleepy cow town.
Yeah, and from that to the Big Apple.
Yeah, and I immediately fell in love with it. I was like,
Uh-huh.
I'm never leaving. 16 years later, I'm still here.
Uh-huh.
But I got started in dance, and I always was at the gym to like get that upper hand
Yep.
in the auditions. I was like strong. I had great endurance,
Good core strength.
good core strength, and it was really helpful. But the guy that was working at the gym, teaching all these fitness classes, he was like, I need you to get certified. I think you need to actually be in fitness.
Oh, interesting. Like he saw something in you that you
Yeah.
didn't see in yourself.
Right. I didn't even know that was really an option for your like full-time
Job,
gig.
like a career.
Correct.
Sure. How
It's-
old are you at this point?
21.
Okay.
But I was really susceptible to a lot of
You're
things,
21.
right? I
Yes.
was like, whatever will pay my bills right now.
Yes,
so.
if an adult says like try this and they
Yeah.
like are handsome and nice, you're like, okay.
Totally. And he became my mentor. So
Okay.
he, helped me figure out how to teach and do all this stuff. And eventually it started to grow and evolve. And I got
And this is
hooked up.
pre-online workouts. This is just in person.
This is just big box gyms.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is before any of the boutique fitness
Classes
came
and
out.
private training.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was funny because this is YouTube was obviously around at the time, and I was like searching around for Barry's boot camp workouts to do on
Like at home?
YouTube at the gym.
Okay. So you didn't have to pay for berries?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't exist in New York
Oh,
yet.
it wasn't here because it started on
No.
the West Coast?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
So eventually, when it came here, I went and I was like, "Where's the owner? I would like to work here."
I love this. I love this like naivete of someone who's just like in their early 20s and anything is possible. And you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, how are you? Give me a job.
The amount of confidence that I have incurred just from living in the city and watching other people. I was like, it's a non-negotiable.
100%.
You know, you have to put yourself out there and believe in yourself.
Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Exactly.
And like no one is, what's the worst that could happen? You're going to be in the same place that you were 10 minutes ago. So like, why not try?
Yeah.
Like there's no difference between super successful or super famous people and us other than they tried and someone said yes.
Yes.
Right? Like someone said yes.
100%. I mean, I think you just have to, it's a numbers game too, you know, or right time, right place.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you asked for the job at Barry's.
I did.
And you got it.
And I got it.
And did you leave dance behind, or were you still like spinning multiple plates?
I was still doing both. I was still doing a lot of, you know, commercial dance for editorials and different live performances. And it was intoxicating, but they were both kind of competing with each other.
Yeah. And commercial different from like theatrical?
Yeah.
Like you didn't want to Broadway, that was not your world.
No.
Okay.
Looking back, I think I would have been wonderful because
I think so.
love
You have such
Broadway.
a presence about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if my voice actually lines up with it, but
there are dancers. There are dancers.
She could have been an ensemble.
Who can be an
sure.
ensemble member. Exactly. 100%. Do you ever like think about it?
I do. I do because I still love performing.
Yeah.
I mean, being on stage and being part of a show is just, it's magical.
It's unlike anything in the world. Like being in that moment with that audience, like nothing else is like that. It's almost like a drug in some ways.
And if you have that in your DNA, I feel like you have to feed it throughout your life.
100%.
And the beauty about that is I think you can do it forever.
Yep. And in different ways now. Like it's not like it used to be. You don't just have to be on a stage in New York City.
Yeah.
Okay, so Barry's, and then you were also simultaneously doing something else.
And my fitness agent at the time, I was with Wilhelmina Models, and they were like, you have to choose.
Excuse me. Wilhelmina Models.
I did get signed at one point for I think I was with them for like 6 or 7 years, which was really fun. And that's where I met Andy, actually, as one of the castings.
He's also was a fitness model. Okay, so you met him 10 years ago.
Yes.
But you were, like, initially, were you like, hey, cutie? Or were you like, keep it professional? Or
so I was
or
still
no feelings?
Brand new.
Okay.
And it was one of my first castings.
Okay, so you were trying to keep it like...
Yeah, but when I try to act cool, I just get really cheesy.
Got it.
But he
Same
actually
with flirting,
was really cool.
like flirting too. Are you like a cheesy flirter?
If that was like ever captured on camera, I'd be so embarrassed. But
I want to rewind and watch it all.
I'm so happy that it doesn't exist. He was so lovely. He was like, I heard you're a trainer as well. I own a gym down in Soho. You should come train your clients there. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Yes. Where
Absolutely.
is it?
I'm not listening to you, but you're handsome. So yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, so I started not training my clients there, but I took one of his classes and brought my sister, and she was like,
oh, wait, I love
he's
that.
so
wait,
cute.
That's too much. That's like out of a rom-com.
I know.
So you just, instead of bringing clients there, you yourself took a class.
Yes.
I love that.
I wanted to see him in action.
Did you have glam on?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Do have a photo from that class.
Okay.
And I keep it just for like memories.
Were you going to share it with me to put on this podcast?
Oh, gosh.
I feel like now you have to. Now we need to see it. You brought it up, so.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Okay, lawyer. You'll talk to counsel.
Yes. See if it gets approved. So I was dating somebody at the time.
Oh, okay.
And he was as well.
Yep.
So our paths remained pretty parallel for many, many years. And when I got hired at Peloton, they were like, you have to build out your team as part of your role as director. And
so you weren't hired as an instructor?
Both.
Oh, both.
Yes.
You have to wear many hats. Oh my gosh, a girl can't just teach a treadmill class?
I was like, what else do you need me to do?
Yeah. I can model, I can act, I can teach, I can train, I can do it all.
You know what? I think that was a gift that my mother gave me. She was like, go try everything and fake it till you make it. And you will learn along the way. Everybody in their jobs has learned something along the way.
Period. If you're not learning, what are we doing?
Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. But he was the first person I reached out to and interviewed.
To hire him?
To hire him.
Okay, because honestly, he was qualified?
Yes, he is still on it.
I know
I sound biased.
Come on.
I totally sound biased.
I hired the hottest guy in the room. It's really, he's qualified.
Yes.
No,
and
I don't
he's
have
really
a crush.
Smart. That's one thing that I absolutely was like, when I took his class, I was like, wow, he's so smart.
Yeah.
And that for me is very sexy.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
somebody that's intelligent and can really hold it down. Because
Yeah.
being in the fitness industry, I think there's a lot of people that look qualified just from the
Yes.
outside, and then you see how they conduct
100%.
and program, and I'm like, no, he really knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got it all.
Mhm.
He's not just
Yeah.
abs.
So you can imagine I was devastated when he said no.
Wait, he said this is not the twist I was expecting.
Yeah.
Did he not want you to be his boss, or he had other things going on?
No, he had just left that gym to open another one.
Okay.
And he was like, I have to see this through. I'm really excited about it. And
it's a commitment
it's commitment. And I respect that.
Yeah, it's also turns you on. It's not like he's just like flaky and I'm out of here.
Yeah. So 6 months later, we were still building our team out. And I told my my boss, I was like, hey, listen, if you want to reach out just to see if he's ready, if anything's changed, try one more time. And she was like, okay. So Robin reached out to Andy, and she basically was like, you would be stupid to turn this down. And this is the final offer.
And what year is this?
This is 2018.
So like really early still in like the genesis of Peloton. It's still growing to what it is today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And finally, he said yes.
He said yes.
He was like, I'm ready. This is a disaster. I'm out.
I got to get out of here.
Yes. And we're so grateful. But even then, I mean, Andy and I just stayed friends, but it just became a lot stronger and closer of a friendship.
Sure. Because you were literally working in the same building, the same, like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you kept seeing each other.
Mm-hmm.
But were there any like flirtatious moments, or were you both still in a relationship, or were you like?
He was.
Okay.
I was single.
Uh-huh.
And I think at some point over those 10 years, even if you find somebody cute, you're just like, you put them in that friend box.
Yeah. You have to for your sake or their sake.
Yeah. And I just really got to enjoy him as a friend.
Yep.
And we had so many good times and so many laughs. And that's why I think when my friends were like, he's now single, you should date him.
Yeah.
And I had to retry that cap on because I'm like, of course he's handsome. Of course he's this.
Yeah,
of course
that's
he's
Andy.
That, but it's my friend.
Yeah.
And I was totally lying to myself the whole time because immediately, it's funny how it all happened too, because he didn't know that they were saying this.
Okay, he totally ignorant. And were his friends saying the same thing about you?
Yes.
Okay, so like everyone knew what was going on except for the
Us.
two of you.
Yeah, the two of us. We had never spoken about it.
Oh my gosh, so professional. HR
That's one
approves.
way to put it. Yeah, I think they would love this story, actually.
HR approved.
Yeah.
They kept it PG.
Yeah, totally.
So then when did it cross the boundary? Like when did the flirtation, like was there a date? Was there a moment? Like
there was a moment.
Was there a kiss? Like what happened?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's also going to sound pretty rom-com-ish, but
Give it to me.
Hear me
I
out.
need rom-coms. Like we have
Okay.
a void of rom-coms.
Right?
I mean, we just got this new one. What
Okay,
is-
I love this.
Did you love it?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
No One Wants This.
Yes.
I loved that show.
I want Adam Brody.
Yes. I was like, I didn't even know I wanted
No,
Brody.
same. Until like literally it was like 4 a.m. and I was like, I have to go to bed.
Yes.
But there's one more episode.
Well, then you just got to push through.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Mhm.
I just think it's like the love story that we all can relate to in one way or another. Like one of the characters, whether it's the sister, the brother. Someone recently was like, you're going to be like him when you parent. And I was like, I don't know if I should be offended or not. They're like, no, it was a compliment. You're a problem solver. Like your daughter has an issue. And so you like solve problems. I'm like, well, hi. I don't really know if this is like the best parenting.
That's a highlight of it. Yeah.
I guess, but he did like solve the problem.
Yeah, totally.
So anyways, there's a void of rom-coms. So I'm going to, outside of that one, which I love, but we're missing them. So give me all the rom-com juice.
Okay. So there's a game, and during COVID, I think it got pretty popular. It's called The Skin Deep.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
No,
It's
not
like a
heard of it.
card game where you pick a card and it has a question to deepen human connection.
Got
So
it.
like they're the pretty intense
Rather than like
conversation
talking about the
starters.
weather and your job, it's
Yeah.
like, let's go deeper.
After the tea, then you have,
Mhm.
these moments.
Yes.
And our little pod got together one night and I drew a card and it said, where do you see our relationship in 10 years? And you can choose anyone you want to ask. So I asked Andy, just like fishing a little bit.
How many people were in this pod?
There was 5 there that night.
Okay.
And 2 of them were the friends that have been
That were poking
instigating.
you and pushing you.
So,
But how bold of you to ask him that.
thank you. I haven't given myself that much credit.
You should. Like, I would not have this. I would probably be very nervous, especially if I really like someone in front of other people, to ask, where do you see our relationship in 10 years? And what did he say?
He said either still best friends or married.
And what?
This was the reaction. Dead silence.
Was there a gasp in the room, or just
we
like
all
all
just
the
started
oxygen
looking at
was
each
gone?
other. I was like, my palms are so sweaty. I
Of
can't
course.
breathe right now.
And what an amazing answer.
Yeah.
Oh my, was
It
your
was
whole
so
body
bold.
like, yeah, both of you.
Yeah.
For you to ask and for him, you both could have not done that. It could have gone any other way.
Totally.
But what a bold answer.
Yeah. I think that's what really
declared it.
Yes. He declared it. That was I didn't expect that.
Me neither.
I think it's kind of what really, you know, shook me and then flipped the page for me.
Yeah, because he's not someone that would just flippantly say that.
No.
Like, he meant
He's
it.
very conscious about the choice of words that he uses, still to this day.
So
you know?
what happened next? Did you like go to the bathroom and make out? Like, this is like high school, spin the bottle. Like,
we were like, next. The
like,
next day,
the next person had a question?
Yeah,
or?
we just let it go and kept it moving. And the next day I left for a trip for 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And during that
Did
trip,
you have like a nice hug at the end of the night?
No.
Or it was just totally like,
he was like, have a great time on your trip. I'll see you when you get back.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I'd be so anxious and excited and like turned on and nervous. Like,
But then you're surrounded by all, you know, other people. And I was like, okay, I just need to like keep this for myself for a minute and see how it feels. And I kept trying it on while I was gone. And I was like, how would it feel to be with Andy as his partner? And so I got back and I waited another week. And I finally was like, hey, would you want to come over and just talk about what you said?
So between that time and 3 weeks, no communication?
I think I said Happy New Year.
What?
I know.
So these big declarations and then 3 weeks of silence, including New Year's Eve.
I know.
So like, did you kiss someone else at midnight?
No.
Okay. Did he?
I don't know.
You don't
I don't
ask.
think
You
so.
don't want to know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was
So Happy New Year to then you being bold again and saying, you want to come over and talk about that.
Yeah.
And?
So he came over, we had dinner, and
Did you cook? Did you order in?
I cooked.
Okay. What did you make?
A spaghetti bolognese.
Ooh, okay.
From scratch, one of my specialties.
From scratch, including the pasta?
No, God, no.
Okay, well, I don't scratch. I'm thinking like Rachel Ray over here.
Fair.
She's like rolling
Great
out the
question,
pasta.
actually. I wish I could.
You can. It's eggs and flour.
Okay.
I mean, I've never done it. But in my mind, I'm like, it's so romantic to make pasta.
It's so easy.
We're totally going to do this.
Yes.
The next episode, we're just going to be here making pasta bolognese.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you cooked. Was there a candlelight?
No, I had no
Music?
furniture in this apartment really yet because I had just moved in and it was like still COVID time.
Yeah.
So we sat on the floor and which was kind of cute, but I was like, so I just need to let you know that if we move our friendship into relationship, there's a likelihood that we could lose our friendship if this doesn't work out. So I'm not going to do this if it's just to date and to have fun.
Nothing.
Yeah. I was like, we're either in or we're out.
Because you didn't want to lose him as a friend.
Right.
But
I
you
was
also
like,
weren't going to do this game.
Correct. And I also felt like it was something that was really real. And I hadn't really felt that before because in all of like my past relationships, I felt like there was either a game where you were either trying to chase their attention, gain their, love, and vice versa. And this just felt like it's had such a strong foundation of respect first and foremost.
For each other.
For each other. And the friendship is there. So it's like, I don't need to get to know you.
Yeah. Or prove
from like
anything
the ground
to
up
you.
or prove
we know each other.
You've seen all the sides of me.
Yes.
The good, the bad, and everything in between. So it was actually really cool. And he was like, yeah, I'm all in. Like, let's do this. I want to be with you. And it just, I think everything from that moment clicked and we've been like inseparable ever since.
On the floor of the apartment.
I know.
Eating spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
Then did you kiss?
And then we kissed.
Okay. I mean, I needed the kiss.
Later on that night.
After dinner?
Yeah.
That was the dessert.
That was the dessert for sure.
So 10 years of friendship.
Yeah.
Amazing game. And then you became like boyfriend and girlfriend. There was no
Mhm.
like dancing around it.
Yeah, very secret.
But very secret. So no one in the office knew. HR
No,
didn't know. Like nobody
no.
knew except maybe your sister and your friends.
Yeah,
Or the people that were at that game night, your
yes,
pod.
exactly. The pod knew,
Yep.
but only a couple of them. And I think it was for the first 4 months that we were just the two of us and our couple friends. And finally we made open the door to the rest of our little friend group.
Sure.
And we were like, you all have to keep this under wraps. We just want to make sure that it's protected
Yeah.
while we're, still in that early phase.
Yeah.
And
It's the fun phase.
yeah.
It's like the early romance
It
and
was-
the googie eyes
Mhm.
and, all the great stuff in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
magical.
I know, it really was.
Yeah.
It's like when you want to hold on to something and cherish it for a little while before giving it all. Here's the thing. And I love our Peloton members, but they also want to know
Everything.
all the details. And I
Yes.
think before we were ready to share that, we wanted to keep it to ourselves
Of
for a
course.
moment.
You are in people's homes. Like
Yeah.
you're their best friend, but they've never met you.
Mm-hmm.
But like they work out with you once, twice, 3, 5, 7 times a week.
Yeah.
They follow you on Instagram. They follow you on TikTok.
Yeah.
They know everything about your life.
Yeah. They
And
definitely
so
do.
they really want to know, obviously, this part.
Yeah.
And because you're both instructors, like that's the juiciest story
Oh, they
there
were so
is
excited.
to know. Of course. So like that makes sense that you'd want to keep it private and
Yeah.
close for as long as you can. And then
Mhm.
obviously, like everything else, you're going to share, when you're ready.
Right.
Did you make like Instagram official or how did you?
We did. We obviously reached out to our boss first.
I was gonna say,
right?
is HR, like,
yeah,
dear
HR and our
HR.
boss. We we need to get your blessing. We
Yeah.
want to let you guys know, and we also want your advice on how to
move
share.
forward. Sure. Because this is a unique job. Most people
Yeah.
don't have a job where they're a social media personality. Like
Mhm.
you are not just clocking in and out of work.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure people see you at the grocery store. People are like,
Oddly
hey.
enough, that's the place where I meet so many.
I'm
people.
sure, which is like such a fun part of your job.
Yeah.
But learning to navigate how to do that, it's helpful that they sort of like took you through that.
Yeah, I mean, we never are short of things to talk about
Yes.
when we meet.
I have no doubt. Okay, so you talked to HR
Yeah.
and then you decided to go Instagram public.
Yeah. And I was a little nervous to see how the members would respond, whether they would be like, oh my God, no, which I didn't, there was only a sliver of
Is
me
the
that
no
believed.
because they hope that they could date you?
Or Andy.
Or Andy, or both.
Yeah,
Or just
who knows?
like
or just worried
They'll
about
get
if
less
it doesn't
of you.
work,
Okay, all right.
So many possibilities.
Sure, it could go anyway.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was overwhelmingly positive,
gosh.
and it was super duper exciting.
Did you
So-
guys ever teach a class together?
No, but we are going to soon.
I feel like
for the
that
first
would have been
time.
the way to announce it without, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
wink, wink, like we're teaching a class
2-for-1.
together. Exactly. Okay, so you went Instagram official.
Yeah.
You did it all legal beagle at work.
Mhm.
Everyone was so excited in the community.
Yeah.
And then when did the engagement happen?
3 years later.
Oh, so it's like a solid time together.
Yeah.
Okay. That's through past COVID now. We're in
Yep.
2021.
Yeah, that was 2019 when we had that conversation.
Uh-huh.
And then 2023 December is when we got engaged.
Got it.
So it was definitely, I think that's, my math is not mathing
You're
right now,
fine.
but you got it, right?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, it was 3 full years to that, pretty much to
To
the
the day.
date. We ended up going, it was funny, one of Andy's friends runs a travel company.
Mhm.
And you can buy raffle tickets for this wonderful event that gives back to this incredible charity. And we bought a couple raffle tickets at this event and won a trip to
You
South
actually
Africa.
won? Like, I feel like nobody ever wins. I never win.
Correct.
I'm always like, I'll take 100 tickets.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to win. You know what I mean?
Just a huge donor.
Yes. Yes, precisely.
You can walk away feeling
we are
amazing
such
either way.
givers.
Yes.
Yeah, so you actually won.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so his friend was like, let me help you plan the whole trip. We were
Convenient.
like, well,
Great.
we're going to stay for a little while. And apparently they had a sidebar conversation.
Mhm.
And one of the days that we were there, which I knew about this because Mark knows that I love dressing up. Like
Uh-huh.
it's so pack way too much every time I take a
Yeah.
trip. I just like to have the options.
You know what? You are my fiance. You're literally like I'm having a little PTSD right now as I'm pushing all the luggage to the airport when like, couldn't you just decide what you wanted to wear?
Bags. You're like, can you
literally,
please?
could the wheels be bigger and can we get a cutout in the curb? Because I have all these bags. Okay, so you are him and he is you.
Yes. So they already had planned that we were going to be doing this like sidecar beach horseback riding thing. He was like, we're going to have a photographer because we figured instead of you guys having to like take photos
just
for yourself.
Get some content. Yeah,
we'll have you guys get content because I had inquired about that earlier on. And the end of the day, we were walking down to this beach and they were like, I'm in this long yellow silk gown.
Mm-hmm.
And our guide.
Really appropriate for a beach walk.
Okay, but it looks so perfect. Hear me
I
out.
have no doubt. I saw the photo, but like now with the context.
Yeah. I was just ready to have that moment. You know, we weren't gonna be laying down at the beach.
Sure.
So I knew
you
that
were
I was
there.
gonna
There was
go
a camera.
there
Like
to
you knew
have a
what you
moment.
were doing. In that regard.
But they were like, it was so packed. And Andy was like, we should walk somewhere more secluded. I was like, it doesn't matter. We take photos in front of everybody all the time. It's
normal.
fine. Let's do it. And so our guide was like, no, I live around here. There's like a cool path, but are you okay hiking a little bit? And I'm in bare feet. I was like,
and a dress.
Sure. And a dress, a gown.
A gown.
So there's like photos of me like hiking this up and going for like a 20-minute walk on all the lava rocks, just like cutting my feet up.
This is, like not casual.
Yeah, no, but I'm game for whatever. I like to have a good time.
I was going to say, that's your energy. It feels like this is your world.
Yes. So we make our way out there and the photographer's like, what if there's like a huge boulder like the size of this table in the ocean. He was like, would you want to go down there and take a photo?
Wow.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I start going down and making my way down these huge boulders and Andy is following me. I didn't know this, but as soon as he was like, turn around so we can get this, this angle. And when I turned around, he was down on one knee. So I know it looks like I was expecting this, but I can promise you with every bone in my body that
you were like fully surprised.
Yes. So I always wondered what my reaction would be. And I thought I would be very, oh my God. No, it wasn't that. I was like, crying, laughing.
Oh my gosh.
I was so
all
intense.
The feelings came forward.
Yeah,
she was
for
not
sure.
demure.
Not at all. No, not at all. But I was really impressed by him that he like went and planned this whole thing and they brought out champagne and they brought out all this stuff, like picnic for us.
And you were in a gown.
And I was in a gown. I was like, this is so cool.
I love that. And did you share it right away or did you take a little time to be private about it as well?
I waited about 5 hours to call my mom.
Got it. Okay. But still, you had that initial time to just celebrate.
Yeah.
There's such an immediacy, a desire to like tell everyone such good news, but like how special to kind of keep it for a little while.
It was also 3 a.m. when I called her because we were in the different times.
Sure. But did she know? Did he ask your family?
No.
Okay.
We're not super traditionalists, and I think she had met him many times, and she loves it. My whole family loves him so much.
So it was like obvious. It was like expected, but still a shock when it happened.
I did ask him. I was like, "Did you ask my father?" He's like, "No. Do you want me to?"
You're like, "It's a little late now, but like I can call him and then come back if you want."
I would have laughed if he said yes, and
it's just not who you are, not what you do.
Definitely not.
Planning a big event? Whether it's your wedding day, prom, or another unforgettable milestone, Friar Tuck's has been styling people for life's most important moments for over 50 years. With their newly revamped website, you can buy or rent a sleek suit or timeless tuxedo. Plus, they've just launched a fresh women's suit line and new styles in trending colors. And don't miss out on the Michael Kors Performance Collection, designed to keep you looking sharp and feeling comfortable. Friar Tuck's is a family-owned business, and with over 10,000 five-star reviews, they're proud to be a part of your most important moments. Ready to style your next event? Visit friartux.com to build your head-to-toe look or schedule a virtual appointment with an expert stylist. Plus, you can also stop by one of their stores in Southern California or Las Vegas, Nevada. Whether you're renting or buying, Friar Tuck's has the perfect fit for everyone, from standard to big and tall sizes. Friar Tuck's, styling life's most important moments. Check them out today at friartux.com. So you did that, he did that, you said yes, obviously. And then how did you decide? Weddings, there's so many choices. You can have a big wedding, a small wedding, a religious wedding, like a million options. You elected for 2 weddings, a family wedding and a friend wedding in 2 different locations in 2 different countries within 2 weeks.
Yes.
How did you come to make that decision?
I chalk it up to all of my anxiety. No,
Okay.
no,
Couldn't make one decision, so let's make a lot of decisions.
Let's make all of them. Well, during, I think, the time, like the incubation phase between getting engaged and then deciding, like, okay, we're going to start the planning phase of everything, we really got down to the brass tacks of like what our values were.
Yep.
And we love our families and wanted them to have a moment to get together and meet each other and break bread and make relationships.
Yep.
But we also acknowledge that a lot of our families, like I'm 38, Andy's 44.
Okay.
So our family members are a little bit older.
Sure.
We have, grandparents and parents in their 80s and 90s that can't travel, but we really wanted to have a destination wedding.
Yeah, but you wanted them to be there, of course.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. So we were like, well, we should have something very intimate for our family. And I didn't know where or when. And I think the wedding that I always had in the back of my mind and he wanted to do as well was bring all of our friends to another country. And both of us just love Italy. I mean, I think everybody in the world.
It's like the most beautiful, easy, delicious place to be.
Yeah. I'm like, everything you want and need is there.
Yes. You can't have a bad day in Italy.
Exactly. So that is how we landed on Italy. And when we were deciding what we wanted to do with our friends, it's not like a 2-hour flight. We wanted to make sure that they felt like we were creating something special for them for a whole week, have it be worth the flight, be able to enjoy each other's company. As we continue to get older, friends are having kids, they're moving out of the city.
Different phases of life,
Yeah, we were like, you know what? We're going to have a party. Andy and I have been to Burning Man. We're huge ravers. We love to go to festivals. And
this is why the Festival of Us. Okay,
correct.
Got it.
So that's
now it's all clicking.
Yes, it was. We wanted to make it like a little week-long, I guess the only word I can come up with is festival.
Because that's what it was.
That's what it was. We're like, we're going to do different events. We want to give people free time. We want to have them. We love to dress up in like our friend group. We love themes. So we threw a couple ideas out there. I definitely created mood boards. And, there was the timeline happened because I was searching for a full moon.
To be married on a full moon.
To be married on a full
moon.
So
that automatically you had to, there are certain days.
Yep.
There's not a lot of them.
That's where it started.
Yeah, okay.
And it happened to be on September 18th, and it was a Wednesday.
I was going to say you got married on a weekday, but it was because of the full moon.
It was because of the full moon.
That was first.
Yep.
Okay.
And instead of doing hotels, I was like, I want everyone to be in a house. So we were searching for like different villas that would be able to fit this many people in a town near the beach. And we landed on these 2 beautiful properties. One is a Stuni Art Villa or a Stuni Art Resort. And it felt like the actual perfect place for us to have everybody there.
How many total were in Italy?
22.
Oh, that's nice. Including the 2 of you.
I think 23 with the 2 of us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Couples never count themselves
I know,
for anything, for the catering bill, for like the floor plan. I'm like, hello.
Right.
It's about you.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're like on the outside of the bubble. I'm like, no. We're very much part of this.
We are in the center.
Yeah.
Okay, so 23 is nice. So you could really spend like quality time with everyone. And the two people that like had been pushing you to set you up, were they there?
Absolutely.
Okay, they had to be.
Yeah.
Did they give a speech?
They both did.
Okay,
actually,
great.
You know, one of them is a singer. Sophia is a phenomenal singer.
Mhm.
And so she actually sang us down the aisle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And Jess is an incredible speaker. She has a very unique way of making people laugh and cry and take you through every single possible emotion.
Wow.
And it was just the most beautiful speech that she could have given at a dinner.
love this.
Yeah.
I mean, what a nice full circle for them to be like, I told you so, and now here we are, and I was right.
Yeah.
It's the I was right you want to hear from a friend. There's a lot you don't want to hear.
Okay, so I did give her that early on when we decided to get married and we sent out these the RSVPs, like save the dates. She said, you need to have everybody over that's coming and put together a PowerPoint presentation and show us what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be doing it. Give us a mood board.
She wanted you to be a cruise director.
Okay, but I stepped in. I was like, sure, let me do it.
Oh, you said yes?
I cannot believe I said yes. It sounded like a great idea. I spent so much time making this PowerPoint.
It's a lot of work to make a deck.
Yes.
A lot of work.
I had never made one before, to be honest. So I learned on the fly.
I love this.
And the opening slide was a picture of all of us out on a double date. And I said, this is dedicated to Jess and Sophia. So if you're listening right now, it is because of you that we are here today. So thank you.
Yes. So you gave them that.
Yes. And now I don't have to say it again.
Ever again. Because you did it as part of your presentation. Literally a lot of airtime. But I'm obsessed with this presentation idea.
Yeah.
Like, how many slides was it? Was it short? Was it long?
I think it was like 13 slides.
Okay.
But
like itineraries, location, like.
I had a calendar mapped out of like, this is the ideal setup.
Were you selling the trip or people had already said yes?
They had already said yes.
Okay, so now it's like they blind faith bought in.
Yeah.
And now phase 2 is here's what you're getting now that you've bought in.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a timeshare, huh?
I was going to say like cult, timeshare. What are those like programs where you like sell things?
All I have to do is say that there's going to be like a party and a DJ and my friends are probably going to be in.
They would have come anyways. Yeah. But you wanted to go the extra level.
Yeah, I was excited about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten any vendors or even a wedding planner at that point.
Just a location and a date.
And
the full moon.
Yes.
The 3 things that you needed.
The 3 things you need.
I love this.
So chaotic.
Did you have spaghetti bolognese at your wedding?
No, which is, I know,
in
crazy.
Italy?
Yeah, no, they're known in Puglia for their orecchetti. So we did have pasta, but it wasn't
you
the
had to
bolognese.
keep it the right one. Okay, got it.
They're very, protective over their
different regions and their cultures.
Exactly.
I learned the hard way when I was there. You're not really supposed to put the bread in olive oil. That is not an Italian
criminal
thing.
Yeah.
Literally, they just like look at you with disgust while they're pouring it. I'm like, then
gosh.
why is it here?
Yeah, you can't put it next to each other and
give
expect
it to me
not
and
to.
expect me not to eat this.
No.
Like, I'll do the Italian way if you help me.
Also, I think they're meant for each other.
Italians or olive oil and bread?
Olive oil and bread.
Of course. It's so good. A little balsamic.
And sprinkle some cheese.
Forgetting some salt.
Yes.
I think we're hungry.
I know.
Okay, so back to the wedding.
Yes.
So the family wedding was
the
on
family
the East
wedding.
Coast?
Yeah, it was in Cape Cod, where it was a kind of a central location. I have a lot of family in Massachusetts still, and Andy's Cape Cod. Connecticut and Maine and Massachusetts.
So you just sort of met in a nice equidistance.
Exactly. So my uncle has a very quaint house in Orleans, but his property on the harbor was really beautiful. So he is an officiant, and he married both of my sisters, my brother, my cousin.
So you had no
his
choice.
Son. Yeah.
It was like, what was going to happen?
I wanted to also give that to him too, because I knew he would be really excited. And when they heard first that we were getting married in Italy with just our friends, I think they were worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because you planned that before the family one.
Well, yeah, it was just, when I was still working full time, and I think my brain could only handle like so much at one point at a time.
People don't realize it's a full-time job to plan a wedding. Like, I have a career because not everyone can have 2 full-time jobs, their job and plan a wedding.
Yeah.
Or 2 weddings in 2 different countries
it was
at the same time.
Insanity. Within 6 months.
You did it all in 6 months?
Yes.
And 2 weeks apart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but so you're booking all the things. Your uncle got to be the officiant.
Yep.
And you were married on his property.
And we were married on his property.
That's beautiful.
It was, and that was also a Wednesday. It just so happened to coordinate with a week that Andy and I both had off
Got
from
it.
work.
Yep.
And we wanted to have time to like get there, hang out for a second, make sure we had time to like
Relax. Take it in.
and then not have to go back for 2 days
Yeah.
after. Plus, you get really sweet discounts.
I was going to say, like, so many people are anti-weekday weddings, but
Yeah.
like everyone's available.
Uh-huh.
Like any vendor you wanted was
Yep.
available.
Yep.
And the price is significantly better.
It was incredible. You got anybody that would have been difficult to get, especially in such a short like time
Yeah,
frame.
because this is summer now we're talking.
Yeah, we didn't
On
even
the Cape,
exactly.
everyone's booked.
Yeah,
Like a year ago.
yeah. They were like, "Of course, we'd love to do it."
Is this for 2025?
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's actually for in a couple months from now.
It was ludicrous how many things
Yeah.
we were booking like so last minute, and
Yeah.
it was still available. I felt very grateful for our planner. She was incredible, super easy to work with, and all of our vendors in Cape Cod were
Amazing.
amazing.
And you did a clam bake?
Yeah, we wanted to
I
keep,
love
you
that.
know,
The
I don't
dump out on the
recommend it,
table
you
kind?
guys.
Wait, you don't recommend a
I
clam
don't-
bake?
not the way we did it.
How did you do the dump out kind, or what do you mean? Tell me everything, because I love a clam bake.
Right? But when you're in
And the
full
bread and I
outfits
see. I see.
and you have a lobster and it
Just
wasn't
butter
cracked.
everywhere.
They gave us the bibs. I did have a plastic bib over my
Over
wedding
your dress. Okay, but it still got everywhere.
for a moment. No, it didn't get on my dress. But I think people were like, "Oh, my hand! It was really messy
Yeah.
and it was delicious."
Yes.
But I think I would have done it where maybe we have an inspiration of a clam
Sure.
bake.
But something a little bit more elegant to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you don't need a clam bake on a first date either. Like it's just it's you're very handsy. It's a
Yeah.
very physical activity.
Yes.
Okay, so notes, do a weekday wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe rethink the clam bake for the night before.
Yeah.
Because
That
was
would have
your
been awesome.
that would have been perfect.
Totally.
But the wedding dinner, maybe not the thing.
Yeah.
And what wedding dress did you wear to that wedding?
I wore
Or dresses?
Yeah, so I ended up going to Kleinfeld and I got all 3 of my wedding dresses at Kleinfeld.
For Italy and the Cape? Or
Mhm.
okay, so 3 total.
3 total. I wanted a wedding dress and an after party dress
Yep.
for Italy just because I knew I would be dancing all
Yeah.
night. But we actually did a 2 p.m. ceremony
Okay.
in Cape Cod. We did like a very early bird
Yeah.
special kind of thing.
The senior
so that-
citizens weekday wedding. I'm
Loved
here for
it. It was
this.
so good. Everything was wrapped up by like 9 p.m.
I was gonna say, was the sun even set by the time that you?
Yeah, it was perfect.
This is amazing.
It was.
You don't need
know?
lighting at a 2 p.m. wedding.
No, everything is available for you. I cannot recommend it
Okay,
enough.
I'm here for this.
Yeah, I think people really liked it too because then you're not chewing up their whole evening. They can get to bed at a
Correct.
reasonable hour, even if they were drinking.
And they have the whole weekend ahead of them.
correct. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Here we go, weekday weddings.
Yeah. So when I went into Kleinfeld, you kind of fill out like a little questionnaire about what you're looking for, and they had pulled 4 dresses for me, and the first 3 that I tried on, I got.
What? That's like
Yeah.
doesn't feel normal.
I know.
I mean, good for your consultant to like
Yeah.
knock it out of the park.
I was like, "Are
The
you
first
in my
3?
mind?" Yeah.
Normally you're like,
Mhm.
and then you finally get there. But
Yep.
like you just loved it.
I was like, absolutely, yes. It was really amazing because I had tried on at other like showrooms many other dresses, and
Mhm.
it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But you know when you have something in your brain?
Yes. And you're stuck on it.
And yes, and I think my stylist was getting so frustrated with me. She was like, "This is the last appointment, girl."
Yeah. Like there's nothing else out there.
Yeah, it was funny because she goes, "I think the VP is takes your classes. She's really excited for you to come in." So I'm wondering if she like kind of got to know my vibe even from
your
taking my
classes.
classes.
Marissa takes your classes?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't see her as like a
Oh, she is.
workout girly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wow.
Marissa, she's got the muscles.
Good for
She's-
her.
Yes, she's very fit.
Okay.
We love Marissa. And she had everything picked out. It was real crazy. So I ended up, they were unbelievably kind. She offered to lend me 2 dresses
Mhm.
for both of the weddings. And it was like which ones I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, I
This
want
is
them
really
all.
crazy. And I ended up landing on a full strapless pearl gown from Netta bin Chabu
That you wore in the Cape.
that I wore in the Cape. It felt very Cape Cod-ish
It was
to
very
me.
pretty.
With
It was very contemporary
yes.
but romantic. It was like a nice balance
Yes.
of both. Very rom-com, perfect.
Yeah, right on brand.
Right on brand.
My mother was, oddly enough, my mother always loves like shopping and fashion and all that stuff with me. She was so concerned that I was going to be in a revealing dress for this wedding. And I was like, I promise you, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I know my grandmother's going to be there. I know our family.
This is the respectable wedding.
Correct. I was like, I think you're going to love this one. So I didn't end up showing it to her until she saw me like
on the wedding day.
On the wedding day. She got to see me before I walked down the
Wow,
aisle.
but she didn't have any clue what it was.
Wow.
I
I kept everything to myself. One of my friend that, you know, joined me that was doing my hair and makeup, she's one of my best friends. She came with me to do all the fittings and the try-ons. Yeah. So she got the inside scoop.
But nobody else.
Wow. I don't like to have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I think my opinion can be sometimes swayed a little bit too easily when I have other people there.
And yours is the one you want to trust the most.
Yeah. I just wanted to feel like me that day.
Yes, as you should. I think a lot of people lose sight of that.
Yeah.
And there's so much pressure and expectation to make your wedding about other people.
Yeah.
The people pleaser comes out.
100%. Yeah. And I didn't expect that from my family, but it did sprinkle out a little bit when I started asking what they thought about certain things. So then I just stopped and I was
stopped
like,
asking.
No, I'm just going to make these
I'll see
executive
you on Wednesday.
decisions.
Yeah. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
And they did.
Yeah.
I think the look on their faces when they walked in was so, oh my gosh, I think that was the best part, you know,
was
just
that
seeing,
moment.
Seeing all of them.
I love that. And then what were the other two dresses for Italy?
So another Netta bin Chabu as my after party dress.
Got it.
It was this like short fringe silver mini.
Fun. Just
very disco.
Yes.
We wanted like that disco after party, like full moon vibe. And then I did a Panina Tournay strapless. Oh my gosh.
She's the queen.
When you think of a classic, iconic wedding dress, I'm just like immediately drawn to all of her collections. Yeah. She nails it every single time.
Well, she's such an amazing human, but her soul is in her work.
Yeah,
and you can
see that.
feel that. You can see that. So that's amazing. So you had two designers, and then did I see that your friend also made you a dress?
Yes. Okay. So
that's four, but that wasn't a wedding dress. But
that was a wedding gift, and it was part of the wedding week. So she knew we were. I was making my lookbook essentially for the whole week. I was going to be gone in Italy for about 12 days.
Okay.
And I wanted to have fun with my fashion while I was there.
When you say lookbook, like a PDF?
I did make a PDF.
To help you pack or to help you like schedule or both?
Both.
Wow.
So I wanted to know what looks I was wearing each day.
Yep.
So when I flip there, when I'm on
You don't
trip,
have to think about it.
I don't have to think about it.
I love that.
Then it was easier for me to pack too. So I'm like,
these
flipping
shoes,
through.
this outfit, go.
Yeah. And visually, it was just making me super excited about putting everything together.
And for what's coming.
Yeah. So I like that. Some people would say that's crazy.
No, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I like dream of hiring someone to come to my closet and do that for me and make a book.
Yes.
And be like, if the temperature is between this and this, these are your outfits.
Yes.
If the temperature is between this and this, these are your outfits. Throw all of this away and buy these shoes and enjoy your life. And like, I would be so happy.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
To then not have to make those choices in the moment, like to not take up the space in your brain.
Yeah, it's too many decisions, especially when you're like rushing out the door, but you still want to look good.
Always.
Like
in New York City, I feel like we're always rushing out the door.
Yes.
Always about to miss a train, about to miss a car, about to be late to your class.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, you gotta have a book, man.
100%. I love this book. So, okay, so you had that dress that your friend made. Was that a surprise or did you know it was coming?
I knew it was coming because my friend was on Project Runway and she is always making me looks for Peloton because she's in the fitness space, the athletic apparel. But she is an incredible dressmaker. And I showed her a picture of this like I believe it was a Versace dress, a Valentino. Sorry,
Okay.
it was a
The other
2015
V.
Valentino.
Yeah.
Yes, and obviously, I'm like, where am I ever going to find
Sure.
this? And she was like, I can't make this verbatim.
Yeah.
And
She's
I'm not going
knock
to
off
sell it
another
to you.
designer.
Correct.
Sure.
So we went to Mood together, and she was visiting in town.
Very
and
Project Runway.
Yeah, she was like, everyone. We walked in, they're like, Brittany, hi.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is so cool. So we found all the fabric, and I wanted to add more godets. I don't know why I'm obsessed with godet skirts right now and the bottom of the dresses. I kind of wanted it in my wedding dress. So she was like, I'm going to add all of this. We're going to change around the lace. We're going to change around the straps. I was like, go girl. So she took it home, and like 3 days before the wedding, this was like months before the wedding, and she has my measurements on hand. So I knew it was coming, but I hadn't actually received it until 2 days before I left.
Oh, wow. So it was in your pack list PDF blank. Like,
oh no, I had the
custom-made
picture.
dress.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when or
exactly.
where.
Yeah.
And it ended up, oh my God, it was so dreamy. I felt like Cinderella. She did such a good job. And she also made Andy's after party look.
Okay.
And his shirt for under his tux. And we found this really cool vintage, it was like a military suit at the Manhattan Vintage Show.
Okay.
But the embroidery all over it that they had kind of like upcycled was all these flowers, and then there was a moon, and the script on the back of it said "Under the Light of the Moon."
I mean, hello.
I know.
Made for him, made for you.
I was like, it's a cream suit with navy and white, and I was like, this is it.
And it says under the moon.
Yeah.
On a full moon.
I was like, 911, you need to come to the Manhattan Vintage Show
and
right
try this
now.
on right away.
He did. He thought I injured myself, so he was very upset when he got there, and I was
It's
asking
like a hot,
him to try
sweaty
on
mess.
a suit. Yes.
And you're like, I found your suit.
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
You are Kyle, by the way. This is like very weird. I'm seeing a lot of going on over here. A lot of similarities.
I realize how dramatic it sounds.
Yes. Drama and dramatics is what I'm marrying. So this is like very.
It's so fun. It's
It
never
is fun.
boring.
It's never a dull moment.
Yes.
Okay, so he tried it on. He liked it. Did he have a say in it, or you were like, "This is what you're wearing"?
No, of course. If he didn't like it, he has full power of attorney to.
So you're not Kyle then? Yeah. I wouldn't have a say. No, I'm just kidding.
I would have been bummed because I was how can you not see that this is it?
Perfectly the right one.
Yeah.
I love that. So that's how you found the suit.
Yeah.
And then your friend made one of the looks. You had the other 3 looks.
Yeah.
And tell me how you decided to hang disco balls from a tree in Italy.
That was so last minute. So on the day of my wedding in Cape Cod, I received a message from our wedding planner in Italy, and it was just pictures of these incredible olive trees that had been basically chopped off at the branches. And that was the tree we were supposed to get married
on
under.
Purpose or on accident?
So there was a bacteria that had been eating all of these olive trees that had been spreading around southern Italy at that time.
So they chopped it off.
They cut them down.
Right before your wedding.
And she was just like, this is what's happening.
Period.
Here are pictures. And I was
solution.
like, okay, well, I can't think about this right now. So I'm going to put my phone away for the rest of the day. And after that, I was like, well, obviously, I want to still use a tree, but make it an art piece.
Yeah.
And we already knew that we wanted to have people in a circle, phone free, because I wanted to be engulfed in our friends' energy. And we always love to be under the disco ball. Like, we all come alive in that moment. I think when the sparkle of the moon,
when the light hits the ball and it starts to rotate slowly. Yeah,
exactly.
Of course.
And it just became this really beautiful, central focus of the entire evening. And it just, I think, like, brought a certain sparkle, and it ended up looking really cool.
Yeah.
So they thought I was absolutely insane.
I'm sure.
Because
you want to put a disco ball. I'm not going to do an Italian accent. That's wrong.
You were so close.
I was just in Spain, which is not Italy. And anyways, accents are not my strong suit.
Either.
But I can already see, based on working in Italy, the Italian response to you wanting to put a disco ball, multiple disco balls in their olive trees.
Yes.
Yes. And you're excited like this, and they're terrified.
Yeah. She was like, I don't think you...
I don't understand.
How are we going to hang them? And I was like, figure it out.
Or a ladder.
Yeah.
There's ways.
I was like, there's the person that's hanging the disco ball above the dance floor. He could probably do those,
I'm
too.
sure he could figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after everything was said and done, and I looked at it, and she was like, It was beautiful.
It's good. Yeah. She's like, this is worth it. Yeah, it's
I was
worth
like,
it.
you can keep them all and use it
Yes.
for another
You
one.
can sell this to the next client who wants a disco wedding.
Yeah, I mean, it came out so cool. I loved it.
What was your favorite part, if you could pick one of both weddings, favorite part of your wedding?
My favorite part of my Cape Cod wedding was probably having everybody on the dance floor. We had hired this band, Dale and the Duds.
Okay.
If you're a South Shore, Massachusetts person, you grew up from a very young age listening to this band play in the summer all over the place.
Like a local band.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the oldies, everything. They're well into their 70s now.
I love that. But they still rock out at weddings?
Yeah. And now my little 2- and 3-year-old nieces are listening to them. So we hired them to come play. And it just felt like all the generations, like having this super nostalgic moment, getting together and having a good time. It was sunset. It was so much fun. And I just think that I was able to kind of like have a bird's eye view in a moment where I was like looking around. I'm like, there's going to be very few times that this
is possible.
Yeah. So
that joy, that music, those moments.
Yeah.
And is there anything like a lesson you would give someone else getting married, looking back? I know it's fresh. It's only a few months ago.
Yeah.
That could be helpful for someone that is in the throes of planning or soon to be.
Yes. I would say give yourself more time than I did. Definitely 6 months is a super rush. However, plan also, I think, be less attached to certain things. Like know what are the non-negotiables. And then just try not to get lost in the details of like literally everything else, because it can suck your energy out. And it also, I think, is like... it doesn't matter at the end of the day. There's certain things that are not going to matter that I remember walking
like you're attached to things in idea, but in actuality
it totally, like the certain little details that I thought were so incredibly important really don't. So I think my number one piece of advice is to put yourself in your guest's shoes and to think about the experience, about when you've gone to a wedding, or what would make you feel like you were either thought of or having like a really good time. And it's usually not because the signage or the the tablecloth, there was a certain fabric or color. It's the overall experience of how the flow of things goes. If you're able to, be with them and you're not spending time going away for all these like photo moments, but it's the conversations that you can have in the little moments with your friends and family.
So focus on the feeling.
Yeah, definitely focus on the feeling. That's a much better, concise way to put it.
I mean,
right?
I think it's really important as a planner, as someone who loves to obsess over details and linens and wood grains. And there's a million choices, but at the end of the day, it's the love in the room. Like that's what you're coming back to.
I also am pretty I like to have certain control, because I can see the full thing.
The picture.
I can see the full picture, and I have a little hard time like relinquishing some control. But both times when I got to the venues for both of my weddings, I was shocked at how much better it was than I even thought it could be.
Because you let go of control? Or just because?
Just because people in the industry are really good at what they do.
They're good at what they do. Yeah. So if you trust the professionals.
I mean, we hired people that were incredible, and planners have really strong relationships. And I think that, if you're doing your homework and you're finding the right people to work with, and you can see their past work, and if it's something that you really enjoy,
lean in.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let it go.
We have one question before we wrap. Someone on Instagram, let me get this. Daisy Mack said, "What line of the oath did you share that had the most meaning?" I imagine they mean like your ceremony, maybe your vows. Had the most meaning. It's a deep question.
Oh my gosh. Full transparency, my vows I wrote accidentally in like 8 font and it was 2.5 pages long.
Wait, 2.5 page vows? 2.5 pages.
Yeah.
What were his? Did you tell each other ahead of time? That's like
They were
wild.
pretty similar at
Okay,
Cape
because you
Cod.
want it to be like
Yeah.
2 pages?
I know.
Size 8?
Halfway through, I looked around and I was like, I'm so sorry. Do you guys want me to wrap this up? They were all crying. They were like,
But
keep
they
going.
know you, and obviously this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So picking one moment is hard if you
I know.
have 2 pages.
Yeah. I can't remember an exact sentence. I don't know. I just remember the feeling. I'm like trying to close my eyes and put myself back there
in that
for
situation.
a moment.
So it's a feeling. I mean, it's not the words for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
It's
wrote a
just-
lot of words.
I
But
wrote so many. If I could pull them up, I could tell you probably one. I had some really good zingers in there
I'm
because
sure.
Andy, I'll tell you my favorite from his.
Okay, great.
He and I love to watch The Office together. It's like
Okay.
that background show that
Yep.
like whenever you're just mindlessly cooking or whatever.
It's just on, yeah.
Mhm. And he and I always quote this to each other, and he managed to put it in his vows as the David, my philosophy is this. Never, under any circumstance, ever, no matter what, no matter where, ever. And it just keeps going on. And it doesn't end up going anywhere.
It's just that.
It just keeps going like that.
Like that. And so
And
he
I
worked that
was-
in?
Yeah, I was cracking up. It was so necessary in that
Yeah.
moment because I had been sobbing.
Yeah,
and I
you
was
needed
like,
a little
thank you
break.
for bringing
You
me
needed
back
some humor.
here.
Yeah.
So it's just, a little thing between him and I that it was really special.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
this has been so much fun. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with you and your weddings.
Oh,
and I have to
thank
come
you.
take a class.
I would love for you to come.
Are they back in person?
Yeah. You can come lift with me. You can
Oh my
come
God.
hike with me.
Are you saying I need? No, I'm just kidding. I do.
Never.
I do
mean,
need like a little
you want a little bicep?
tone up. Just a little one.
Just a little bit. I won't yell at you
for
though.
my wedding. You
Just like,
won't?
no. Be like, yes, Jove, you're doing great.
Okay, you're going to empower me.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll have a little dance break in between sets.
I mean,
We'll be
I'm
good.
there. Sign me up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now it's time for Ask Jove, where I answer your questions. Really, anything you want to know, go ahead and ask. I couldn't be more excited to be joined in studio with my dear friend Sloan for Ask Jove.
Okay, Jove. Lily from Columbus, Ohio is wondering how to have a unique unity ceremony at their wedding.
Yes, I love this.
They are not interested in the traditional candle or sand ceremonies.
Oh, well, that's what I was going to say.
Have you seen anything else out there?
I mean, a unity ceremony is really sweet. It's a visual representation of two becoming one. When two become one, I need some. Okay, anyways, Spice Girls, David Beckham. Okay,
Yes.
that's how my brain.
Also, yes.
That's how my brain.
We'll go there.
Sorry, we digress. Now that's all I'm literally seeing and thinking about is just.
I'm actually just seeing his shirts organized in his drawers.
That's what you're seeing, not short soccer shorts.
I mean, I am also visualizing him. However, his level of OCD and organization is also
Same.
extremely attractive.
And he grills. I mean, like, David, call me. Okay, so two become one. So they know the sand one and they know the candle one. So I think that, again, we want to come back to what is the foundation of your relationship? What are the hobbies? What do you like to do together? How do you spend your time? How do you vacation? You could do like a tree planting ceremony where you mix soil and plant a tree together, a flower together, something that you then will plant on your home or in your apartment. I think that's a lovely one. We've had couples do wine blending where, they just love wine and they blend the wine together. What else have we seen where they blend two things at the ceremony?
We didn't do a blending of things, so I don't know if this would really count as unity, but we did like a hand tying ceremony.
Oh, the hand fasting, which is really pretty.
Yeah.
It is I mean, you're together.
We're together.
And then you get to pick someone to help you do that, which is nice for the friend.
Mm-hmm.
So for the audience, walk me through what it is.
You and your loved one put your hands together, and then someone helps bind them in some way.
We can't do it. We can't do it.
short.
And then someone they tie it
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
And it's like a beautiful moment of a physical representation of the two of you becoming one,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. I think it's really, are we doing this because we need filler?
Right.
If we're doing it for filler, I'd be like, let's question the motive. Again, you
Mhm.
don't need to do this. It's not a production. It's not a show. If it doesn't have meaning to you, don't force it. You know, if candles aren't your thing, honey. We had people mix honey.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a beekeeper.
Oh.
It was like a thing. I was like, yeah, this is coming back to me. It was a sticky situation.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, because he's obsessed with bees. And so like they wanted to incorporate that. But if a client came to us and was like, we're doing a blending of beads, I'd be like, cool. Who works with beads or jewelry or like, we need a story. We need a connection. Don't do for the sake of doing beyond your ceremony, just like in general. What is your why? And if you have a good why, then you don't even need a reason. Like if you want to blend two things together that don't work well together, like do that. You want to blend olive oils because you fell in love in Italy or in a cooking class. Like, you know what I mean? Like weave your story into it and then it'll be meaningful and interesting. Don't just do it because you got to fill the time.
Right.
No
or
one
you
is
saw it to someone else's wedding.
correct.
Yeah.
No one is mad at a short ceremony.
No one.
No one.
No one is mad at that.
If you're filling for the sake of filling, no.
Keep it tight.
Keep it short, keep it tight, keep it right. Like there's no reason to just fill for the sake of filling. So yeah, I don't know what else. Trees, wine, sand, candles, hand fasting.
Honey.
Paint. You could paint. I mean, that's dangerous with wardrobe if you're wearing white, but you can paint. You could do music blending. I mean, you can really blend just about anything you want.
Yeah.
But just make it make sense.
Yeah.
And let us know what you blended because now I'm
so curious.
You
come up with the creative idea.
Happy blending. Happy to becoming one. Well, that's it for today. And wasn't that fun? Don't forget to send your questions. Again, any questions, send them our way to hi@jovemeyer.com and maybe I will answer them on air. If you can, send a voice memo. I love to hear your voice. This episode is presented by Friar Tucks. For over 50 years, Friar Tucks has been helping people look their best for life's most important moments. Shop their stylish suits and tuxedos for rent or purchase, and explore their new women's suit line. Visit friartux.com to learn more.
Weddings-ish.
Thank you again for listening or watching Weddings-ish with Jove. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also super grateful to Mel Flannery for the music on the podcast. She created, produced, and designed all of the music. And don't forget, you can watch Weddings-ish with Jove on Love Stories TV, YouTube, or streaming TV channel. Visit lovestoriestv.com/live for the list of streaming apps.
Weddings-ish.